the news, good evening. David Pierre, the one-time opposition politician who joined forces with the previous government, is quitting his current role as an ambassador abroad. State House says it was informed today the former leading Seychelles National Party figure was stepping down. Mr. Pierre is currently posted in Addis Ababa, where he represents Seychelles in Ethiopia, Kenya, Egypt, and in the African Union and UN Economic Commission for Africa. He'll step down on December the 1st. In 2011, when the SNP boycotted the National Assembly, he formed a one-man opposition. He was later appointed ambassador by ex-President James Michel, but he says he wasn't forced to resign.
No, I would say no, because actually I was offered by the new government to stay in my job, but I personally decided not to.
How is your relationship with the new president?
I haven't had an opportunity to speak to him. I have nothing against him. In fact, I congratulate him for winning the elections and I wish him the best.
Do you regret anything that happened in 2011 and thereafter? Some are saying that you could be the vice president today.
Oh, not at all. I do not regret any of the decisions I took then. And I'm happy who I am now. And having had the opportunity to work for Seychelles internationally has allowed me to grow, especially in the field of diplomacy, so much so that I have now been seen as somebody who has done a great job at the African Union. And because of that, I have now been offered a lot of opportunities. I'm exploring them.
Can you give us an indication of what sort of...
I think is best for me.
Can you give us an indication of what sort of opportunities you've been offered without perhaps being specific?
Well, many opportunities in the field of diplomacy.
Members of the diplomatic corps met President Wavell Ramkalawan in a meeting at State House today. The meeting was to thank the ambassadors, high commissioners and chargé d'affaires for the work they've done and to discuss with them the new government's plans and its foreign policy. In a statement at the start of the meeting, President Ramkalawan said his government is ready to explore all avenues of cooperation with friends and partners for their mutual benefit.
We need to continue working together on common challenges, such as those related to climate change, the environment, the fight against organized crimes, including drugs, arms, terrorism, and human trafficking, to name but a few. Practical support to Seychelles in dealing with maritime threats, including blue crimes, which will effectively boost our maritime security through capacity building of our law enforcement agencies, remain vital. And we hope that these are further enhanced. These will form part of our key foreign policy priorities, which will include 1, obtaining necessary financial resources to assist our recovery from the pandemic. 2, renegotiating our foreign debt obligations. 3, engaging with international development partners to fund new initiatives to boost economic activity. And 4, sourcing assistance for Seychelles' adaptation to threats from climate change, among others, while being fully engaged in protecting our environment.
The Minister for Transport, Anthony Deschak, visited the Air Seychelles ground support and equipment section and cargo area this afternoon. Minister Deschak says that he is satisfied with the work being done, but there is a need to invest in the structures. In addition, he says that Air Seychelles has some financial issues, but the company will be supported under strict surveillance.
Whether Air Seychelles will continue, I'm of the view that yes, it has undergone some cost cutting, some structural reform, and if we can place a good strategy and policy in place for Air Seychelles, as Minister of Transport, I would continue to support Air Seychelles. Of course, on the cabinet level, we'll have other ministries, for example, the Ministry of Finance, and they are more concerned with the continued subvention for Air Seychelles and whether it is sustainable. And as you've also stated, the IMF also has some concerns with the continued subvention that is given money to Air Seychelles. But I'm of the view, which I will put forward to my colleagues on the cabinet, that Air Seychelles is essential. And I expect that they will ask for performance, and I will be asking for a certain period of time that Air Seychelles continues operation.
The minister responsible for fisheries, Jean-François Ferrari, today visited the fishing port at Providence. Minister Ferrari also interacted with some fishermen and workers who had the opportunity to express their concerns. He also visited the SFA aquaculture infrastructure. Minister Ferrari said he was satisfied with his visit and he believes that there are many things that needs improving. This afternoon, he visited the north of the island, where he met fishermen from the different districts there. The Public Health Commissioner, Dr. Jude Gédéon, says that the Ministry of Health will take the necessary time to identify the best COVID-19 vaccine for Seychelles, and that there might be more than one option. Dr. Gédéon was speaking at this afternoon's press conference in response to a question following President Bromcalawan's declaration in the National Assembly earlier this week that an anonymous donor will sponsor 100,000 vaccines from Moderna Therapeutics in the United States. Dr. Gédéon has also refuted as propaganda videos on social media which are discouraging people from taking the COVID-19 vaccines. To date, there are 3 active COVID-19 cases in the country. All of them are foreigners, with one being treated at the Perseverance Isolation and Treatment Center, and the other 2 are on an island resort. This brings to 163 the total number of cases recorded so far in the country.
As regards to vaccine, Seychelles has been promised a donation of 1,000 doses of vaccine. The decision as to which vaccine we're going to choose when it becomes available has not been taken. We are monitoring the different initiatives that are coming on the market. We are assessing what WHO would be recommending to countries, and that decision will be taken later. But in the meantime, we are working on a strategy for vaccination as and when it becomes available. We therefore ask everybody to continue to remain engaged and committed towards prevention of COVID-19 in our community.
The National Assembly's Finance and Public Accounts Committee, the FPAC, has started meeting with key stakeholders in the country. The committee's chairman, the leader of the opposition, Sébastien Pillet, says the meetings are to ensure the country benefits from a robust monitoring system and allows for performance and efficiency not only across ministries, departments and agencies, but also across state-owned enterprises, especially during the current difficult economic situation. The committee is made up of 3 members from the last committee, plus 4 newcomers. Its first meeting this morning was with the members of the Public Enterprise Monitoring Commission.
One is to make sure members understand the different entities that sit within the construct of ensuring monitoring on what government does and how these entities relate to the work of the National Assembly regarding its role to ensure oversight and scrutiny of the work of government. And then the second important factor was to establish areas whereby members could get an idea of potential issues that we need to check, that we need to start looking into in ensuring that the country benefits from a robust monitoring system that allows us to ensure that there is performance and efficiency across not only ministries, departments and agencies, but also across state-owned enterprises. I think because at the end of the day, what we want is within this period, we need to try and ensure that we strengthen all the structures in place to ensure the best possible financial management, but also performance delivery and efficiency.
And with this, we end the news summary.